Hey everyone, it's the Financial Reboot Investment Team with the live show. So let's get started. It's Friday. The long week is over. It was a good week for us. We closed out, we went long JC Penney's overnight. We made 91% off that. So we end up the week with we did the Macy's puts for 45%, Snap puts for 43, XLU calls for 75%, Twitter puts for 63%, and we did the J.C. Penney's for 91%. So we had a good week. Did you have a good week too? There's a lot to cheer about in the market. It looks like they're pushing at least a little forward on this tax reform. It's still a House bill and a Senate bill that needs to be melded together and brought to the president. But things look like they're doing okay. Gold had a shocking sell down. We got caught in the middle of this too. We're long gold. Gold is one of our long plays. And you see, there's a big old. This is a 40,000 contract sale. A lot of people were waiting afterwards to see if it was corrected. Maybe it was a fat finger trade. Sometimes they correct those right after somebody made a mistake. But turns out the news, you can see big block of trade sends gold down 1%. We got caught in that, but we're gonna bail, and it held at the 1275. So we decided, you know what, we're in it at this point. We might as well ride it into next week and see if maybe something happens over the weekend. There's still a lot of global uncertainty and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and see, especially after we had such a rocking week this week. We can be a little patient with this. Coca-Cola is another trade. We're long Coca-Cola had a fantastic day. Those options went to break even, so we'll carry those into next week. Um, See if Coke has what kind of week Coke has. We'll just analyze that day to day. The other longs we're in right now, XLP. We were telling you about that. We were telling you about that from the day we first bought it. If you were in that with us, you're already up about 65, 70% on those options, and they don't expire till January. How nice is that? I told you XLP, consumer staples, man, November and December. Um, Still in the Costco or the Cisco trade. Sorry, not Costco, Cisco. We'll carry that to next week, like we've been talking about, because they have earnings on Wednesday. So we'll see if they get a little bump. We're in the $36 calls, is just below $35 today. The Costco had a little bit rough of a day today. Or Cisco, excuse me. Let's see if we can pull up a Cisco chart. You see, Cisco started out real well. Let's make sure we're on a day chart. There you go. Cisco started off okay. Then it had the big red bars, kind of flat line. Then it kind of pulled back. It got a little bearish there at the end. But at the end of the night, at the end of the day, it had a nice big green bar. Probably people positioning for next week. Everybody knows the earnings. Nvidia had good earnings. That stock did really well today. So we're hoping for some sentimental carryover there, and also too with earnings coming up. Earnings have been good for a lot of the tech companies, so there's not a whole lot of reason to believe Cisco won't be good on those too. The big story today. Well, before we talk about the big story, let's look at the spider, the S&P 500. Started off okay, a little bit down, but then you can see we just started crashing. Tried to fight back, lost it again. Looks like it put in a little double bottom there, fought off to a new high for the day. Went through a little consolidation there, and then it bounced up to a high for the day and finished fairly strong. It was a decent end for the day. Again, at the end of the day, we had that big green bar with a lot of buying volume and a lot of push up, maybe in anticipation of next week. So that's pretty much how the markets looked. The big story for the day, bam, Bitcoin. We kind of warned you yesterday, right? We were telling you be very careful around here. It looked like there was a lot of collusion. It looked like there were a lot of people that were disappointed because that fork didn't happen. And there was going to be more selling in the horizon. Well, guess what? That was about $1,200 ago. So right now, this is a live chart. Bitcoin's at about 64.90. I believe the last time we talked to you, it was 7,400, right? So we're 1,000 points off already. That's what we tell you about Bitcoin. Be very careful. Know what you're doing, and don't just throw your trade to the wind. Don't just, okay, it just goes up. But on the other side is, remember the last time this happened with Bitcoin, it had this big retracement and then it moved to new highs. Is this another scenario like that? We'll find out. But So next week we're gonna actually start trading Bitcoin, financial reboot. So we'll just like with the stocks and the options, we'll have specific recommendations that we're playing, and you're welcome to play along with us. You can see from the week we're 5 for 5, right? One, two, three. Well, actually, we're 6 for 6. Um, with our lowest gainer being 45% and our largest gainer being 91%. So we had a good week, and we hope you had a good week too. Hey, it's Veterans Day weekend. All you veterans out there, thank you very much for everything you've done, everything you're doing. Uh, God bless you all. This country, you keep us safe. You're just invaluable, and just have a fantastic weekend. This is your weekend, veterans. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Let's take a look at the news cycle real quick. So, there's your first news about here are the hurdles the GOP tax plans face. Let me tell you what the hurdles are. The Republicans. There you go. You don't have to read the article now. There you go. Bitcoin plunges after upgrade is called off. It looks like Bitcoin Cash went up though. Remember the last fork. That's what they forked out was Bitcoin Cash. Um, I guess Bitcoin Cash did okay, but Bitcoin Cash, if I'm not mistaken, has been kind of depressed while Bitcoin was running to new highs. So it's probably tit for tat. I believe if you owned Bitcoin at the time, you got like a spin-off on a stock. You got the Bitcoin Cash too. So you probably got both. So maybe the scales evened out the trade. And Louis C.K., we talked about him yesterday, right, in our little commentary section. He just came out and said these stories are true. So that's interesting. That's an interesting way to get ahead of the news, right? Just admit it. Elon Musk just got 1 million likes for an Instagram photo. Wow, 1 million likes on one photo. I mean, not a tweet and all this stuff. One photo. GE limps into Investor Day. We all know about the problems GE has been having, and you know how it's a retirement stock, and it's something that a lot of 401ks rely on and stuff for that dividend. So they got a lot of questions to answer, and we'll keep you updated on that. There you go. Ron Barron, rich guy, billionaire, says that any investor that's patient can turn $5,000 a year into nearly a million. And it's true. It's true. Patience is the key. That's what 99.999999% of the people that you see trading on the stock markets and the message boards are. They're impatient. I give you an example with X. We bought X a few months back, and we bought it around $19, $20. And of course, we followed on the message boards. We like stock twits and stuff like that. But all the way up this. So X would, when it was at 1920, it'd go to 21, then it kind of retrace back to 20, then it go to 21, 22, retrace, and all in between. All you saw were these geniuses on the message boards. Oh, sell it, it's gonna sell off, or cash it in, it's a pig, or oh, buy it now and stuff like that. We just held our position. So imagine if we got in and out, got in and out. Because a lot of times you say something like this. You see a lot of traders on the message board say something like this. I'm going to wait till it's a little cheaper and then I'll get in. Or I'm going to take my profits and then I'll get back in later. It never happens. It never happens. Almost never happens. Once you sell the stock, you move on to other stuff. News comes out, you stop thinking about it and you just let it go. Imagine that. It's traded at what, the mid 27s today. Easy 7 points a share, plus dividends. So just remember that patience, patience. Ron Barron is very correct. You see it with a lot of our plays. We'll be patient. It might have a little ebb and flow, but as long as it doesn't break our technical terms and things like that, we be patient with it. Be patient. Don't get excited. You're an ambulance chaser if you're not patient. You don't want to do that. We have a term for it at Financial Reboot. We call them pig farmers. Alibaba sales, man, how's that? $5 billion in 15 minutes. Wow. Got to give them a high five on that. Actually, got to give them two high fives on that one. Not much else is real. Saudi-Iran war would create this domino effect of global disaster. Make sure you're long gold if that happens. So like I said, it's just a kind of a soft news day. It was mostly about the tax reform, mostly about the guy that what was the Alabama Roy Moore and the sexual allegations. It sounds like a bunch of Republicans want him to drop out. It's getting kind of close to the actual election, so it's a dilemma for the Republicans. I mean, you pull the guy out, do you have enough time to pop someone else in there and have a legitimate chance at winning, or do you just stay with the same horse and hope that the damage isn't too bad? The stigma. That's what they really have to worry about on this is the stigma, what rubs off. Netflix dropped 5% this week after rallying all year. Big whoop. So the stock's up, what, 112%, and you lost 5%, and you're mad. Don't feel sorry for you. Financials may be lagging, but here's one strategist believes the turnaround is in sight. We agree with that at Financial Reboot. We're actually looking to re-enter banks and stuff because we think at some point when this tax reform starts to take some form, you don't want to get into banks and financials right now because there's just no certainty in what's going on with Congress. So wait till the picture clears up a little bit, or just follow us. You can subscribe to our newsletter, and you can get the alert immediately. Um, so pretty much, let's close the week out. It's Veterans Day weekend. There's a lot of good things happening on in Hawaii. In Honolulu, we've got a bunch of stuff. Hawaii Five O's having a big show tonight at the beach. We've got a lot of Veterans Day parades. You guys probably are having them in your part of our part of the country, part of the world, also. Well, part of the country. Um, like I said, football, basketball season, NBA season's in full swing. A lot of fun with that. Uh, you guys get out there, enjoy Veterans Day. It was a long week. We put in a good week. We made some good money. We made some good gains. Hopefully, you benefited from it. If you'd like to get more, if you're excited by the service, please click the subscribe link. But look, if you find these live shows to be valuable, please share the link, subscribe, follow, pass it around. We appreciate any support we can get, and we always try to reciprocate. So that's basically what happened. It was a good week for the market. Gold would have had another up week had that sell down not happened. But we'll take it. We'll take it. It was a great week. 6 for 6 on trades. We got a gold lagger. Coke is pretty much pulled even. We'll see how those go next week. Maybe next week's not like this week, but I bet you it is. So you guys all have a great Veterans Day weekend. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. From Honolulu, aloha.